Once upon a time, in a fishing village in West Sumatra, lived a family of fishermen. Because of family's financial needs, the father finally decided to go sailing across the ocean. However, the father never returned to the village and left his wife, Rubaya. The wife then raised their son, Malin, by herself. Therefore, the boy got a new call, Malin Kundang.
Malin grew up as a clever child, but a little naughty. He often chased the chickens and hit them with a broom. One day, while Malin was chasing the chicken, Malin fell, and his hand struck a rock, so then he would left mark on his arm.
Growing up, Malin felt sorry for her mother, who had to work hard for them, so he intended to sail on a merchant ship. When he told his intention, his mother did not allow Malin to leave. His mother was also worried that Malin would be like his father, who left and never returned to the village.
Despite his mother's rejections, Malin didn't stop persuading his mother. After convincing his mother that he was going to be fine, Monday allowed him to go, though she was a little bit unwilling for her son to go. Malin cried out and left his mother alone in the village.
A terrible incident happened while sailing along the coast. Malin's boat was stranded on a beach. The villagers on the beach welcomed and helped Malin live and work there. Malin worked diligently, cultivating the fertile village land and becoming more and more successful. Malin has 100 workers and several merchant ships of its own. Having success in becoming a rich man, Malin also married the daughter of a rich merchant.
Meanwhile, his mother has never gotten any news from Malin since he left. For years, Mandy could only look at the sea, praying for her son to survive, send a message, or even return to the village. Whenever there's a large ship sailing near the village, she always asks the skipper and the crew about her son. Nevertheless, no one ever brought any news from Malin.
There was a time when Malin and his wife and some of the men of the ship went out to sail in a large ship, and after some time the ship landed on an island. Without realizing it, it turns out to be Malin's hometown. Seeing the big boat landing, villagers, including Monday, gathered on shore. They want to welcome a ship that is thought to belong to a rich person or prince.
From a distance, a couple were seen standing on the slope wearing luxurious clothes. Malin's mother saw and realized that the young man was Malin. As soon as the boat landed and the young couple descended from the ship, Monday ran to her son.
From nearby, Monday saw the scar on the young man's arm and became more and more convinced that he was Malin. She then hugged Malin, calling his name and asking about his news. Malin's wife, who stood by Malin, was surprised to see an old woman dressed in tatters who embraced her husband and claimed to be his mother. All this time, Malin confessed that both his parents were nobles and were dead.
Malin's wife asked Malin,
Who is she?
and when he was ashamed of her wife, Malin pushed her mother and spoke harshly to her. Malin then recognized her as a mother and says that his mother is not dirty and poor like Monday. After that, Malin ordered his wife and men to rush back to the ship to sail.
Monday was laid out in the sand, crying and heartbroken to the point of fainting. After finally realizing it, she lives alone on the beach, and the villagers who used to be crowded have left her. She also saw that the ship Malin and his wife had already sailed away from the coast. While weeping, she fell on her knees, raising her hands to pray to God.
Monday prayed, If the young man was not Malin Kundang, I would forgive his deeds. But if that young man is Malin Kundang, then I condemn him to be a stone." After she prayed, the sky that was once bright suddenly turned dark with heavy rains and thunderstorms. The Malin ships that were sailing was destroyed into pieces by a lightning.
The next day, when the storm was cleared, the wreckage of the ship that had turned into stone was packed onto an island. Among the debris that was on shore, there was a stone shaped like a human body that protruded, with the anchovy, the mullet, and the mackerel swimming on the edge of the stone.
The local community believes that the stone is Malin's body cursed into stone because of an insult to his mother, and the fish around it are fragments of the wife of Malin looking for her husband.
The main lesson contained in the story of Malin Kundang is that a child must always respect the parents who have raised us. Besides, another lesson that can be pointed out is that we must always be humble and not arrogant with all the success that have been achieved.